most important week for Amsterdam. It's Amsterdam Dance Event 2023, Sam Feldt on Enjoy Television. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back here in Amsterdam. I just came from South America, did 2 shows in Peru and in Chile. So I'm a little bit jet lagged still, but I'm excited to be here in this important week. Yeah.
Right. It's an important week for the industry, for DJs, for producers. We can say Amsterdam this week is the epicenter of electronic music, right?
I think so, yeah. And it's just an honor to be able to represent the country to everybody internationally, like showcase our artists, showcase the venues, and showcase why Amsterdam and the Netherlands is a key player in the dance industry. Of course, you have Miami Music Week, which is awesome and more sunny, so maybe more appealing. But I think ADE is where a lot of the deals get done, and a lot of the more serious stuff also happens instead of just partying.
Yeah. That's the feelings. That's always been like that. The feelings that Miami is more sun, parties, and enjoy. Amsterdam is the place where you do business, the serious one. And a lot of people say because of the weather too.
I agree. I mean, when you have pool parties everywhere, it's hard to do business, right? Because if you're in the pool and drinking a nice pina colada, I think it kind of is a different vibe. I actually did pool parties in ADE as well back in the day. So we had an indoor pool, so the Heartfelt pool party. I did it for 4 years. So yeah, I can actually swim and do a pool party at ADE while it was snowing outside. So.
Why you don't do it again?
I mean, we did it for 4 years. I always like to innovate and bring new concepts. We had a boat party for a little bit, and now this year and last year as well, we did the Melkweg, iconic venue, a little bit bigger that can fit in all the fans. So I'm excited for that. With a nice production, I'm going to premiere my new single there as well, which is coming out on Friday. So I'm just very excited to be able to do it in a venue like that.
Tell me something more about this new single that is coming up on Friday.
It's called Memories. So it's going to feature a very iconic melody by Liquido, Narcotic. I'm sure you still remember the original if you hear it. And then it's kind of the same concept that we did for Crying on the Dance Floor, which was well, not my previous single, but one of the bigger singles of the year, where you take a song that people might know from the past, a long time ago, 20, 30 years ago, and then take it and twist it and give it to a new generation, because they might not know the old song. And I think it's great for the songwriter, of course, because you put them in the spotlight again. But it's also great for the fans because they discover a golden oldie at the same time. But I think it's important that when you do it, you don't do like 100% a cover, but you actually create a new song with it. So that's what we did for Memories as well.
Right. Amsterdam is not just parties, there is not just the festival part, but there is also what is going on here at Felix Meritis is panels and talking. And one of the focus on this edition is the artificial intelligence. So what do you think about it? And are you excited about it, or are you more scared about it?
I'm excited about it. I'm a big tech nerd. I actually created and sold a tech startup called Fangage. I've been building websites since I was 8 years old, so I was really young. So that's always been a big passion of mine, technology. I'm a big gadget freak. So for me, it's just very exciting. And I think, yes, you can be scared about it, but it's way better to work with it, right? So if you're not working with AI or you're incorporating AI somehow in your process, I think you're going to see that a lot of other people that are using it are going to, be able to take over from you because they have access to the AI. So for us, for example, for Heartfelt, we are using it for artworks already. It's like we generate artworks for releases with Midjourney. There's now a great piece of software called Gen 2 where you can actually create videos from artwork. So there's a lot of different tools that you can use, and I think, yeah, you're quite stupid if you don't use them because other people are.
Yeah, but maybe, are you not afraid that maybe one day it can replace producers in studio? I mean,
I don't know, maybe technically, like things like mixing and mastering, like things that are very technical by nature. I see that being taken over by AR. AI. But I think on the other side, I think you still have the human touch that you need for the production process, like making something that humans like, making something that has a soul, has, sparks energy, like it gives emotions. I think those are very human things. AI doesn't feel emotion. It will never be able to feel emotion. So yeah, I think that's where the human part comes in. I think also performing is never going to go away. Like people want to see people perform, right? And of course, there might be AI visuals or holograms or whatever. But I think still in 10 years, 20 years time, people will still want to see, when they buy a ticket to a Sam Feldt show, they want to see me playing the show instead of, an animation of me or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because we are living in an era where everything is about visuals, exposure, spotlights, social media. And sometimes I stop myself and asking myself, is still all this about the music or it became something else?
Yeah, I get that thought. I mean, definitely with the new generation, you have less and less time to make an impression. The scrolling on TikTok generation, right? Maybe 1 second, you decide, hey, I'm going to watch this or I'm not going to watch this. And before, songs were 10 minutes long. So the first minute was just an intro. That would never work anymore, right? With this generation, with this technology. So you have to adapt your music to it. And like, for example, I've been doing more songs where instead of starting with the verse, you start with the chorus, right? So immediately you have the chorus, the most hooky part of the song come in at the first time, and then you move to the verse. Right. Just because I might lose a lot of people that hear the verse, they think, it's too slow, whatever, and then they never hear the chorus, right? They never get to the best part. So I get you, and I think as artists we need to deal with that fact.
Yeah. Where we are going as industry, I mean the electronic music industry, where we are going?
Yeah, I mean that's a difficult question. I think in terms of genre, you see that everything is kind of moving in circles, so it's cyclical. So right now you see a big hype around house music, tech house, techno, which are genres that have been around for such a long time, but have been underground for a long time. And now I think you see them moving to the mainstream with guys like, for example, Fisher or John Summit or Chris Lake, like really playing the big main stages of festivals with tech house, which is kind of unique. You never saw that before. But I also think and there's a lot of constants as well. So, for example, things that will never go away, like a good melody, a good vocal, like a good production. Like I think those key elements will stay intact, and then the genres might fluctuate. Like my genre that I started with was tropical house back in 2014. Like if you listen to my music now, it sounds quite different. It's still melodic. It still has the same characteristics, but it doesn't have the same synth, for example. Yeah, so it evolves.
Evolution.
Yeah, everything evolves, and so genres evolves, artists evolve, and the industry evolves as well. So yeah.
Exactly. If you have to give a suggest to the newcomers DJ, or maybe someone that is watching you right now and say, I wanna be there, give them a suggest how they can start.
I think it's important that you make stuff that you really love yourself. I did that wrong for a long time. So I always thought that I should be making like stuff that Hardwell could play or that could be in the Beatport charts or whatever. So you're always one step behind because you're always imitating what other people are doing. You listen to the song, you try to make the song sound the same, and then you finish the song. And if you listen to yourself and you think, hey, what do I love listening to? You get a little bit more creative, right? You can make things that aren't there yet. And the good thing is there are so many people in the world that even if you make the weirdest shit, there's going to be people that like it too, right? As long as it's good music. Look at like very small niche genres, for example, and how big they are. Like, for example, here in the Netherlands, you've got a big hardstyle community, like in Italy as well. And if you see the fans there, they're way more loyal than my fans because they are so dedicated to the hard sound, which my mom wouldn't play because she hates that. It's too loud for her. Right. But like what I'm trying to say is that there's always going to be a market for your music if it comes from your heart, if it comes from you.
But it's not easy because out there is already everything. So create something new. Okay, follow yourself, but create something new right now, it's very difficult. There is everything outside there.
I would say that everything is a remix. So like everything, like you can say it's an original, but hey, you got the inspiration from somewhere, right? Maybe you got it from a video game, maybe you got it from a movie trailer, maybe you got it from another genre, a sample pack, whatever. So it's always remixing some idea that you got from somewhere. It might be released as an original, but it's always a remix because where did the parts come from, right? Where did you get the inspiration from? So making something new is, I think, an illusion. I think the people that do well are the people that can take that inspiration and mold it into something new, right? But like even if you look at the the artists that are have a lot of hype right now, like for example like tech house, right? It's been around for a long time, but what they've done now is like they added elements of the mainstream, like the EDM songs, the big stabs that people love, that have a lot of energy, and blended them together with the tech house beat, so that it creates a new genre, which is kind of cool, but it's actually a remix between EDM and tech house, right? So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. What's your plan for the winter? I know that finish ADE, you will fly in United States, am I right?
Yeah, correct. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between here and the US. I'm also going to be doing a big festival in India called Palm Tree Festival. It's run by my management company in Kaigo. So I'm excited for that as well. Then probably a big show for New Year's, not announced yet, but the rest of the year is a little bit more chill. I had a very busy summer. So I'm also working on an album. I'm working on 25 tracks at the same time. So that needs some love as well. And I have a baby coming in April. So I also need to prepare for that a little bit and create some room,
That's a big production.
A big remix to my life, for sure.
The big one.
The biggest one so far. Yeah.
Yes. About the new album, we have to wait 2024, right?
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I just signed a new deal with Sony, so that's for 2 albums. The first big single of that is gonna be Memories, and then I think usually 4 or 5 singles later you drop the album. So just top of mind, I would say end of next year is when that should drop.
Okay, so we will stay tuned for more about the new album.
Next year at ADE, probably I will be able to tell you more about it, or maybe it's already released.
We will be here for sure.
Great.
So we will be here next year to listen more. And for now, thank you so much.
Grazie.
Sam Feldt, enjoy.
Grazie mille.
Say it again, grazie.
Grazie. Grazie mille.